Hi, I'm Amy Brown of Amy C. Brown Law, and I'd like to talk to you briefly today about maintenance and cure. So, to back up a little bit, most people who work in an office, work in tech, you work on shore, you work in a giant farm, wherever you work on land for the most part. If you get injured at work, you have workers' compensation under state law. But if you are a seaman, that's someone who works aboard a vessel and goes to sea on that vessel, you don't have workers' compensation. So instead, you have different remedies if you're injured at work under the Jones Act and something called maintenance and cure under general maritime law. So, maintenance and cure, first of all, maintenance is payment for your food and lodging, cure is payment for your medical expenses. So, if you're a seaman, you work on a ship, you get injured at work, the day you leave the vessel, your employer should start paying maintenance and cure. So the maintenance should be a daily stipend that covers your food and lodging. It's not going to cover something fancy that you don't need. It's not going to cover a payment on your nice sports car. It's not going to cover going out to the bar, but it is going to cover the expenses of your lodging, food, and your basic utilities. So electricity, power, sewage, gas, those things. It's not going to pay for any extras like the extra fancy cable package or anything like that, but should pay for your basics and a daily stipend. Most employers pay it every 2 weeks or monthly while you're off the ship and you're recovering on shore. So either you're in the hospital or you're at home and still getting medical treatment until you are back to what's called MMI or maximum medical improvement. They should be paying that maintenance every day. So maximum medical improvement, when that maintenance and cure ends, is the point where you're either back to the position you were in before the injury, or you're as good as you're going to get. So, maximum medical improvement covers not only you're fully recovered, but also if it's such an injury that has some permanent things, you're not ever going to be 100%. But when the doctors get you to the point where they say there's nothing more we can do, you're kind of stuck with this as it is, that's the point you hit MMI, and that's when maintenance and cure ends. Cure is what your employer pays for your medical expenses. So any medical and treatment your doctors say that you need for that injury that happened on the ship, your employer should be paying for. So that's definitely something to keep in contact with them. Make sure your contact information is updated so they're getting those payments to you and that they know what doctors you're seeing, who you've been referred to, where you're going for imaging, because they're going to need to be communicating with all those providers and making sure they're getting those bills paid for you. So, just to recap, if you are someone who works on a ship and you're a seaman and you go to sea, just make sure you understand that your rights under the Jones Act and the General Maritime Law, so that if you're ever injured aboard the vessel, you know that once you're off the boat, they're going to pay for all your cure, your medical costs, and they should be paying for your daily expenses of housing and food.